Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do your January the 14th just for today in a meditation. Hope you're doing well this morning. It's about 3:30 a.m. or so. Looking forward to doing the meditation with you. How are you faring on? I know in many places you have blizzard advisories. I hope you're staying warm. And for those of you that are someplace where it's very warm, wow, I wish I could be you. The title of the meditation for today is A Loving God. Our understanding of a higher power is up to us. The only suggested guidelines are that this power be loving, caring, and greater than ourselves. That comes from the basic text, page 24. We've been told that we can believe in any kind of higher power we want as long as it is loving and, of course, greater than ourselves. Some of us, however, have trouble with these requirements. We either believe in nothing but ourselves, or we believe that anything that could be called God could only be cold-hearted and unreasonable, sending us bad luck on a whim. Believing in a loving power is quite a leap for some of us for many reasons. The thought of turning our will and lives over to the care of something we think might hurt us is sure to fill us with reluctance. If we come into the program believing that God is judgmental and unforgiving, we must overcome those beliefs before we can be truly comfortable with the third step. Our positive experiences in recovery can help us come to believe in a loving God of our own understanding. We've been given relief from a disease that has afflicted us for a long time. We found the guidance and support we need to develop a new way of life. We've begun to experience a fullness of spirit where once there was only emptiness. These aspects of our recovery have this source in a loving God, not a harsh, hateful one. And the more we experience recovery, the more we'll trust that loving higher power. Just for today, I will open my mind and my heart to believe that God is loving and trusting my loving higher power to do for me what I cannot do for myself. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. What a wonderful meditation and an opportunity to, again, talk about our third step, a loving God, right? Turning our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. And we only have one suggestion, and it's true, that this higher power that you're choosing be loving, caring, and greater than yourself. And that's an issue for some people. That's an issue for some people. Anytime you mention the God word, it triggers in different people religiosity and a punishing God, a God that I heard one recovering addict say that some people would impose upon them when they were younger a very punishing God. If you didn't do this, this would happen to you. If you did this, this would happen to you. And it caused a sense of superstition, right? If I'm good, good things happen. If I'm bad, bad things happen. Or worse yet, if bad things are happening and they're happening to me, I must be a bad person. And I totally believe that that sometimes is the air, right? Or I wouldn't say it's the intention, but it is the communication sometimes that come with various religions. Narcotics Anonymous seeks to remove that thinking. However, just because it tells us that we can have a higher power of our own choosing doesn't necessarily mean that I am going to be able to break away, completely break away from religiosity overnight. That's why we don't have those discussions unless someone asks you about your higher power or who or what your God is. We really don't have those discussions in Narcotics Anonymous in the sense where we're imposing our belief system on someone else. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be approached by someone that wants to have the discussion. And I make the choice if I want to have the discussion or not. That doesn't mean that we won't, but we're very much aware that this is a sensitive topic. It's like sexuality, right? Religion, faith, spirituality, very sensitive topic. And I have found, depending on the culture of an area, will often tell you what the common higher power is, depending on the culture. If I'm in Amsterdam, the culture in Amsterdam is a lot different than the culture in, let's say, Noonan, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, right? The culture in London is a lot different than the culture in Detroit, Michigan. Although sometimes I would have to say probably not that different, right? But there's a difference. Where people have migrated from the South into the North in the United States of America, that's a lot different than the culture in, let's say, further north in Canada. And it definitely is a lot different than the culture in Mexico, right? Going south from the USA, right? There's a big difference. When I'm dealing with someone that is south of the border and their heritage is south of the border, Mexico, okay? I almost know without a doubt, within a certain range of probably 95 to 99%, the religious background. However, when I lived in Kenya, I didn't expect to find that same religion as prominent as it was with them, but it was. It was very prominent. And so now when we're talking about religiosity, we have to remember that these are the same cultures, diversity, that are coming into the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. And guess what comes with them? The pain, the strain, the joys, the experiences of their own religiosity or lack thereof. And we always say, we're not interested in any of that. You're free to have or not have. But please keep in mind, we don't impose on other people's understanding. And that's why this is a fellowship that has been able to help so many people. Now, that's generally speaking. So let's move past that and move into individuality. Okay. If individually I am coming in and I have a religious background where the God of that religion is punishing. And every time I did something wrong, I was punished in the name of that deity, or made to feel that I was somehow more than or less than being imperfect than, as imperfect as anyone else, more imperfect than them, and not worthy of living. Okay, so I come into the fellowship, and now all of a sudden you want me to be cool anytime someone uses the God word and not think that it's a religion. That's not going to happen. I am absolutely going to think that this is a religion when I hear the word God. As I begin to listen more to a God of my own understanding, that terminology, that phrase, I am going to start loosening up my collar, so to speak, right? Relaxing, letting my hair down, so to speak. Okay. So I'm going to start paying attention now because you're telling me, or I'm getting the information is that I don't have to agree with you necessarily, and I don't even have to have a higher power. But if I do, I want to make sure that I've gotten past the resentment so that I can actually do the work of the third step. And it doesn't mean that you won't do some of the work, but in order to be thorough about it, there's a need to let go, right? Let go of the resentment, let go of the ideology that has blocked us for so long or caused us not to even consider spirituality as something different from religiosity. And it says it here that we need to let that go so that we can actually do the work of the third step. It says, if we come here in this second paragraph, I found it. If we come into the program believing that God is judgmental and unforgiving, we must overcome those beliefs before we can be truly comfortable with the third step. See, that's what we're shooting for. Not that we won't work it or write it, but we're shooting to become truly comfortable with it so that we can receive all of the benefits that come with not having always to have all the answers and having the ability to solve every problem we have. It's so comforting to me to have done a thorough third step because, yeah, it's not that I don't worry. I do. I have times when I worry. But that frustration of things not working out the way that I might choose them to, causing me difficulty in functioning day to day, is far lessened by my relationship and my belief in a God of my own understanding that I have personally chosen. See, it's a personal choice. I've chosen to turn my will and my life over. And I hope that you will too. Choose a loving God that works for you. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose. You deserve it. Absolutely. Talk to you soon.